Hi, this is Taro and IT. There are so many that have not been assigned a score. All concerned parties should be aware of them. It should be noted by those involved that in the next few days or weeks, score and severity will become clearer and the exploit by actor may begin as the principle becomes more clearly analogous. Below I quote, translate, and comment, with asterisk, on the sections that I personally find interesting. Apache www data. CVE-2022 to 2104. The www data, Apache web server, account is configured to run sudo with no password for many commands, including /bin/sh and /bin/bash. NIST NVD base score n/a. CNA, ICS cert base score, 9.9 critical. Asterisk what the heck? Reference site Who is www data? March 26, 2021, says www data is a server on Ubuntu, Apache, Linux, etc. are the default users for normal operation. Data exported by the web server, owned by www data. Different for Debian and Red Hat systems. Autodesk AutoCAD. 5 cases in all with a base score, 7.8 high. All but 4 cases below are triggered by maliciously crafted JT, TGA, TIFF, and CAT files. CVE-2022 to 27871. Autodesk AutoCAD Product Suite, Revit, Design Review, and Novice Works releases using PDFtron prior to September 1, 17 version may be used to write beyond the allocated buffer while parsing PDF files. This vulnerability may be exploited to execute arbitrary code. Exploitation of this vulnerability could result in the execution of arbitrary code. NIST NVD base score, 7.8 high. CVE-2022 to 20829. A vulnerability in the packaging of Cisco Adaptive Security Device Manager, ASDM, images and the validation of those images by Cisco Adaptive Security Appliance, ASA, software could allow an authenticated, remote attacker with administrative privileges to upload an ASDM image that contains malicious code to a device that is running Cisco ASA software. This vulnerability is due to insufficient validation of the authenticity of an ASDM image during its installation on a device that is running Cisco ASA software. An attacker could exploit this vulnerability by installing a crafted ASDM image on the device that is running Cisco ASA software and then waiting for a targeted user to access that device using ASDM. A successful exploit could allow the attacker to execute arbitrary code on the machine of the targeted user with the privileges of that user on that machine. Notes: to successfully exploit this vulnerability, the attacker must have administrative privileges on the device that is running Cisco ASA software. Potential targets are limited to users who manage the same device that is running Cisco ASA software using ASDM. Cisco has released and will release software updates that address this vulnerability. NIST NVD base score n/a. CNA, Cisco Systems, Inc. base score, 9.1 critical. Dell BIOS. CVE 2022-26864. Previous versions of the Dell BIOS contain an input validation vulnerability. A locally authenticated malicious user could exploit this vulnerability by submitting malicious input to SME in order to bypass SMM security controls. NIST NVD base score, 7.8 high. CNA, Dell base score, 6.3 medium. Reference 1, System Management Mode, SMM. Reference 2, 11th Invisible Attacks Exploiting System Management Mode, SMM, October 7, 2009. CVE 2022-26863 and CVE 2022-26862. The current description and CVSS3.x severity and indicators are the same as CVE 2022-26864, July 1, 2022. Fujitsu Limited News_Centric Store CS 8000. CVE 2022-31794, updated July 1, 2022. An issue was discovered on Fujitsu Eternus Centric Store CS 8000, Control Center, devices before 8.1 ASP02P04. The vulnerability resides in the request temp file function in hw_view.php. An attacker is able to influence the unit name post parameter and inject special characters such as semicolons, backticks, or command substitution sequences in order to force the application to execute arbitrary commands. NIST NVD base score, 9.8 critical. CVE 2022-31795. An issue was discovered on Fujitsu Eternus-centric store CS8000, Control Center, devices before 8.1 ASP02P04. The vulnerability resides in the grl_finfo function in grl.php. An attacker is able to influence the username, user, password, PW, and file name, file, parameters and inject special characters such as semicolons, backticks, or command substitution sequences in order to force the application to execute arbitrary commands. NIST NVD base score, 9.8 critical. VMware Spring_Cloud_ function. CVE 2022-22979. In Spring Cloud function versions prior to 3.2.6, it is possible for a user who directly interacts with framework-provided lookup functionality to cause a denial of service condition due to the caching issue in the function catalog component of the framework. NIST NVD base score, 7.5 high. VMware Spring_Data_MongoDB. CVE 2022-22980. A Spring Data MongoDB application is vulnerable to SPEL injection when using @query or @aggregation annotated query methods with SPEL expressions that contain query parameter placeholders for value binding if the input is not sanitized. What is MongoDB? MongoDB is document-oriented, provided under the server-side public license, and is supported by MongoDB Inc. MongoDB is not an RDBMS, but is classified as a so-called NoSQL database. Instead of storing records in a table like an RDBMS, it represents structural data called documents in a JSON-like format, and the set of documents is called a managing them as collections. According to DB Engines, which publishes rankings of popular databases, as of February 2018, it was ranked 5th behind historical RDBMS products such as Oracle Database, MySQL, Microsoft SQL Server, and PostgreSQL 7, and it holds the largest market share among the many NoSQL databases that have been created since the late 2000s. Source: Bulletin, SB 22-178. Vulnerability Summary for the week of June 20, 2022. Original release date, June 27, 2022. Thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe to our channel if you like.